What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Franchise Empire newsletter live that we do. Or maybe you're watching the replay. If so, we're happy that you're here. So today, let me share my screen and I will share with you what we are going to be covering today. And by the way, my apologies for being 5 minutes late to starting this, coming from back-to-back meetings. Okay, so today we're going to cover an interesting franchise that shows sales of 3.1 million with 497,000 in adjusted profit, which is pretty crazy. A resale with 1.24 million in the last 12 months revenue. A former software manager that left corporate for a franchise. And then our most recent podcast episode, which is talking about a low-cost franchise that averages 7 figures in sales. Of course, as a quick disclosure, any of the numbers that we reference here for franchises are either numbers that we got, directly out of the FDD, and we will note that we got that out of the FDD, or if it's a resale, it's like from actual numbers. So, with that said, let's rock and roll. Let's dive into this and let's go over some of these opportunities. I'm excited to share them with you guys. And for those of you who are just tuning in, hit the like button. This is free. We put a lot of work into it. We want to add maximum value, and you hitting the thumbs up button is number one, it's helpful for us in getting the video out to more people. Number two, it also is feedback for us that, hey, like, I like this. This is valuable. I want you guys to keep doing it. And that's appreciated. And then for anyone who's watching the replay, drop me a comment. Let me know that you're watching the replay. I do look at all of those comments, by the way. So it is worth your time. Okay. And then right before we get in, if you do not get these in your inbox on Sunday mornings, then go to franchiseempire.com/newsletter and you can get these in your inbox Sunday mornings for free every Sunday. That way you don't have to wait all the way until Wednesday when we do this live. Make sense? Cool. And let me know, for those of you who are watching live, let me know in the comments what city and state you're tuning in from. What city and state are you tuning in from? You know what's funny? On our last live that we did, we had a bunch of people that there was a bunch of dislikes on it. And I was like, that's so weird. We don't ever get dislikes. No one hits the dislike button on YouTube. And I realized it was because I spent the first few minutes talking about the Commanders and different football teams. So I'm guessing, I'm assuming what happened was people watching that did not like the Commanders and or did not like the way I was talking about their team. That's the meaning that I created from it. Anyways, featured resale. Let's talk about the resale. CertaPro painters. If you guys aren't familiar, CertaPro, they've been around since 1992, guys. They have nearly 500 franchise units throughout the U.S. and Canada. It is very rare and difficult to find a new territory for sale because most of the territories are sold. There are some new ones, though, in different pockets, by the way. So our team at Franchise Empire can help to figure out if that's available, if you're interested in a specific market. But they are the largest residential and commercial painting franchise in North America. Entrepreneur Magazine ranks them number 1 in that specific category. Although, guys, those rankings don't mean much in terms of being a franchisee. It just means that brand is basically the largest and does the most sales. Essentially, they have a criteria. So I'm oversimplifying it, and I'm not trying to like disrespect the ranking and the people that get stuff, but it doesn't mean much to people that are looking to buy a franchise. Anyways, because they've been around since 1992, they have a bunch of resales typically, and we've helped a few of our clients buy CertaPro resales. This specific one is in Charleston, South Carolina. Started in 2017. Asking price is $550,000. Last 12 months of revenue is $1.24 million. If you want to learn about the cash flow and everything that is included with this sale, for this resale, then actually you're going to go to this link, which is franchiseempire.com/resales. You'll enter your information. You'll wind up scheduling a call with our team. And then we'll need to make sure that you're financially qualified and be able to help get you introduced to the owner /and/or franchisor so that you can get the specific details around the numbers for this opportunity. Some of you guys may be like, hey, I'm not in Charleston, South Carolina, but I'd be interested in knowing what sort of resales are out there. Then you can still go to that same website, franchiseempire.com/resales, and schedule a meeting, and our team will connect with you, find out what area you're in, and we'll go to work and do some homework and see what opportunities, if any, are available in your market. But let's dive into this and our team's take here at Franchise Empire. So, number one, you don't need experience in painting or home improvement, right? This is about leading your team, right? And you will get support every step of the way with field training, online training, technology resources. And I believe CertaPro assigns you a mentor as well, another franchisee that's been successful. Again, we've had a couple of clients that we've helped buy resales with CertaPro. Neither of them had any experience in painting specifically. One had a food background, by the way. CertaPro is one of the strongest home services franchises in the industry. They have very strong hands-on training for 5 weeks and support programs for their Zs. Zs means franchisees. This has led them to a 90% plus retention rate amongst their network over the past 3 years, meaning that they're very good at retaining their franchisees. And so that's a great number and statistic. Their average sales this was in their 2023 franchise disclosure document. We might need to get updated information. Then was just over 2 million for locations that had been open for 1 year plus. I know their 2024 FDD has come out, so we'll need to get that and update those numbers. Actually, let me just make a note of this real quick. I'm just making a note, or else I'll never remember to do that. Excuse me. Apparently there's something going around, at least in Florida, like so many people are getting sick. Our kids have been sick. I've been sick. It's been like a 3-week cycle of like people in our household getting sick. My wife has the immune system of an ox, and every time she like never gets sick. It's impressive. Well, Charleston, the area overall, growing population, robust economy, definitely with the mix of some of the historic homes. There's a lot of opportunity for painting projects, right? So, and also CertaPro, their number one goal is to help their franchisees grow big, profitable businesses. So, that's their goal. That's how they measure success, is in their franchisee success, which is pretty cool. So, again, if you're interested, and maybe you actually are not in Charleston, you're like, hey, I want to see if I'm in one of those kind of rare markets or areas that CertaPro still has available. Boom, you can still go to the resale link and just enter that's who you want to talk about. Either way, it directs you to our team. And if you're talking to our team, you're in the right place. Okay, we're going to talk about the franchise of the week in a minute, but let's celebrate. Every week we celebrate one of our clients who have become a new franchise owner recently. This one is Britt, and Britt's awesome, by the way. I've had some meetings with Britt, and she's great. But she was a former software product manager, and she was really looking for just a simple service-based business model that had some recurring revenue potential. So she also wanted something that had, strong brand presence and marketing. Not all of franchises have like that really strong brand presence and marketing. And so our team went hard at work researching options for her, doing personality profiles, understanding her financials, came up with a handful of specific recommendations based on her situation that we identified were available in specific zip codes around her. Our team, helped her through that process. She wound up picking a service business that has really bold branding, that's really dynamic, and she's the newest franchise owner. So congratulations, Britt, and excited to see what the future holds for you. Let's talk about the franchise of the week. The franchise of the week is a brand called Cabinet IQ. Oh, what's up, Tracy in Tyler, Texas, by the way. Autumn in Georgia. Hello, hello. Cabinet IQ. So they started in 2017 as a non-franchise business. They started franchising in 2022. By the way, let me know if you guys have questions as we're going through this. Sometimes we have a lot, sometimes we have a little. Happy to answer towards the end. This brand is growing very fast. By the way, I actually have updated numbers. They have, let's see, those were old numbers that we had in our database of 38 franchise units awarded. I was actually messaging with the CEO and founder. They have 69 awarded and 56 of those are open, which is wild. That is impressive that they've gotten that many open that fast. They have a franchise fee of $60,000, $59,500, 6% royalty. The brand fund, there's no brand fund payments in year one, and in year two, it's 2%, year 2 plus. Total investment range is from $218,000 to $305,000. You do need to have a net worth of at least $200,000, and you need to have liquid capital. This a lot of times retirement accounts are included in that, especially if the retirement accounts is with a previous employer, like an old 401k or something like that. But you do need to have liquid capital of $75K. Another way to get I don't want to say get around this, but as an example, someone who has a net worth of 500 grand, right? Let's say you got 500 grand in net worth, but the $500,000 all in your home, pretty much, or in other things, and you have a lot of money in your net worth in your house. Well, you can take out a HELOC, right? Like a home equity line of credit, and then be able to pull that and have the liquid capital. So there's definitely creative ways to make sure that you have what you need to meet the qualifications. I've met people where they have a ton of equity in their house. They have some assets. They don't really have much liquidity, and they feel like they are going to have a hard time getting funding or not qualifying. But there's often some pretty cool ways where it's actually pretty simple and not that complicated. All right. So basically, this is a high-tech cabinet and countertop company revolutionizing a sleepy, fragmented, outdated industry. They are the only full-service cabinet and countertop company bringing a 5-star experience to kitchen and bath remodeling from design to installation. And today, most of the companies have low-tech systems, outdated showrooms, and subpar installation. They were born to fill that gap. I'm not sure what happened here because we didn't fill that gap. That's ironic. But yeah, this is a really fast-growing brand. They show strong numbers in their FDD as well. By the way, so who's their ideal franchise candidate? We're going to start including this in our newsletters. You don't need design or home service background. They are looking for people with the following characteristics. You've got some sales management experience, or at least willing to learn. You're passionate about providing, great customer service. You're process oriented, and you can lead a team. If that's you, hey, potential opportunity. So, by the way, if you want to find out if they have your territory available, meaning where you live or wherever you'd want to buy a franchise, you can go to franchiseempire.com/check territory. Our team will be able to look that up for you and see if it's available. Boom. Let's keep rocking and rolling. I'm on a roll today. We're just going to keep hammering through. So in their FDD, they disclose numbers. So this one here on the left, I'm not sure if you can see this clearly. This is year 6 store. So store that's been open, their location that's open for 6 years. Year 2 store. Okay. This is in Austin. That's in Cedar Park. Clearly, and this is how it often works, the longer you're in business, the more time has the opportunity to compound, and you can grow over time. I know everyone wants to get rich tomorrow. Everyone wants to have $1 million business day one in year one, but it takes time, ladies and gentlemen. So, you can't get to year 3 and year 4, year 5 if you never start. So the best way to get there is to start sooner rather than later, and not to delay, and to let time compound. Because it's so many people. They're just like, I get it. You've got families, you've got obligations. It's important to bridge that financial gap, but don't make short-term gratifying decisions where, that could bite you in the butt in the long term, right? So just know, hey, I'm going to get involved in a business. It may take longer than I want to get to where I want, but just got to get started, rock and roll. Anyways, that's my little rant. The 6-year location did 3.1 million in gross revenue in 2023. It shows all these cool numbers. I'm not going to go over all this here. And if you are on our newsletter, and because you've gone to franchiseempire.com/newsletter, this will be in your inbox, and you can go look at it and read it and dissect it to your heart's content. So go ahead and do that, and you can get it. Now, we sent this out on Sunday, right? So if you are like, oh, hey, if you want to get it and you're not on the list, then you'll go to Empire Builder Articles. And somewhere in here, we post all the older ones. And then you can enter your email here to make sure that you can get all of them weekly. I'm not showing the proper I guess I was just showing my window. Hold on, let me show you what I was doing here so that you guys know how to get to and access this information, since we're not going to cover all of the numbers at this moment in time. So you go to franchiseempire.com, free resources, Empire Builder Articles, and boom, here it is. And you can click on it and see it. But enter your email here if you don't get our emails, and that way you'll get it on Sunday morning, not, 3 days later when we do this. Okay? Deal? Deal. All right, sweet. Glad we came to that conclusion. How do I get back to where I was? Here we go. And it is still only sharing that browser. So we're going to switch again and get back to the numbers. Okay, let's rock. So year 6 store, 3.1 million. Year 2 store did 1.385 million. And it shows a bunch of different expenses and adjusted profit of 497,000 on this location at a 15.9% margin. And the $1.385 million location actually had a higher margin, 25% margin at 347,000 in adjusted profit. In the FDD, it'll explain what adjusted profit means. But as you can see, there are the list of expenses is quite extensive. So some pretty strong numbers overall. We recently had a client buy this franchise. Subcontractor-based business model. So this helps to really keep your investment lower, and the business pretty simple, right? So like I said before, you don't need a design or home service background. You will need 2 employees to start, but no equipment or inventory because you're using subcontractors. They have some innovative AI design technology. They're first to market with this, and it's able to bring the customer's vision to life with 2D and 3D renderings, which is pretty cool. Obviously, if someone can see experience themselves in the space with the upgrades, that's going to help sales conversions, which is huge. They have a corporate support and call center. So their outbound call center will assist with lead generation and setting appointments with homeowners, contractors, builders, and interior designers. and the corporate office team designs your showroom. So it's pretty cool. A lot of these home service franchises guys are doing this these days. Now, again, you're paying a fee for the people that are working the call center, but it's generally speaking, it's far less than if you hired a full-time employee that was your person calling leads all day, where you may not have the financial resources to hire someone for whatever 40, 50 grand a year to do that. And you don't have to train the call center. The franchisor does that, right? So pretty cool. A lot of these home services franchisors are doing that these days. Anyways, so yeah, if you want to find out if that franchise has your territory available, go to franchiseempire.com/check territory. You'll be able to schedule a meeting with our team, and we'll be able to check and see if it's available and let you know. And we can check on other franchises that may meet your criteria that may not even be on your radar, or if resales are available. All sorts of good stuff. Boom. Last but not least, the latest episode of formerly known as the Franchise Empire Show. Let me make a note of that too. We need to change. Making a note of that. It's now the Zero to Profitable Franchise Podcast, which is what it used to be. So when you look on any audio platforms like Apple Podcast or Spotify, it is under Zero to Profitable Franchise, no longer under Franchise Empire. But we do have a Franchise Empire YouTube channel, if that's not confusing enough. It's actually pretty clear. This was a previous newsletter that we've done, actually, with low-cost franchises that average 7 figures in sales, and we dive into, the low-cost franchise that averages over $1 million in sales. And so it's a great episode. And if you like listening and learning about some of these specific franchise opportunities, you might want to go check it out. So the way you can do that is you can go to the Franchise Empire YouTube channel, and you can actually go and watch it and watch the video version of the podcast, and make sure you subscribe while you're there. Or you can go to any of the podcast platforms that are audio, and we're there, guys. We're there. We're showing up to the party, not messing around. Anyways, I don't see any questions. So and there's about a 30-second lag. So I'm going to rock and roll. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. If you enjoyed this, if you got value, please hit the like button before you leave. It's very helpful. And it's feedback for us that, hey, I like the video. And what would be even more helpful is if you comment and leave your feedback like, hey, I enjoyed this part. Can you talk more about these sort of things? Hey, here's some of the things that I'd like to learn about in the future. Let me know. We source content ideas from the comments, by the way. And so there's a high likelihood that we can make something based off of your feedback. Anyways, you guys have a great rest of your week. Peace out.